conditioning. Spend a lot of running, just getting prepared, making the transition, from having dominant big guys to being more guard oriented. So we're working on a lot of things to get our wind together and a lot of conditions so we'll be able to run all 40 minutes.
How's that different than last year, though, in terms of conditioning?
It's a lot tougher. To be honest with you, we're doing it's more rapid pace, just getting out there quick. Last year we kind of eased into it, but this year we started from day one, just working hard and, taking no days off. So, you got to prepare your body right by eating and drinking right, stuff like that if you want to make it through it.
Were you able to kind of do something on your own, knowing that was going to happen? Were you able to kind of get into shape on your own?
Right, because this is my 4th year, so you kind of think about it like, what more can you go through? But this year has been tough, and by far the toughest out of the 4 years I've been here. And we're not even through it yet.
Yeah.
We're going through it now, so you never know what can change. But it's all for the better. Like I said, we're making the transition to being more guard oriented, so we got to be able to run with anybody.
Now, how are you going to fit within that? Because I imagine that there are going to be times that you and Amon and Mufon could all be on the court at the same time.
And I feel that's great in a way because all three of us can dribble. You don't have to go to the ball every time. You can get out and run, and we're all pretty much quick for the most part. So I think it'll put a lot of pressure on the opposing team.
With the size disadvantage that you might face against some teams, have you talked about zone defense, or is it strictly going to be man-to-man like you normally run?
Well, right now, like I said, we're just worried about conditioning. Coach may add some of that into it, but for the most part, he's one of those, it's all about pride and just getting your man and guarding him, regardless of how big, how small you are. At the end of the day, you got to get it done. And that's one of the things right now we're working on, just getting the conditioning, mental toughness, and being able to, guard that 6'6" guard or how big they are. We got to just use our advantages, and that's why we're getting in better shape than the opposing team and being able to run them off the floor to where they get tired.
Did you work on that this summer, guarding taller players than you in the pickup games and things like that?
Well, this summer, it's pretty much been like that all my life. For me, just, ACC, period. I'm 6'2". That's pretty much the smallest on the court. So,
right.
I'm used to it. Size is just another thing. But like I said, at the end of the day, if you don't get it done, then it don't matter how tall you are.
You were just using the word mental toughness there to describe what the team needs to go through. Obviously, you're a senior now this year. You guys lost Zach. You lost DeAndre. How do you get the guys, just generally speaking, to embody that mental toughness?
Just main thing is getting everybody to get on one page and buy into what we're selling and what the coach is selling. And that's what he says, more guard-oriented. We all got to be on one page, and we all got to be fast and in conditioning. We got to be able to read and interact on each other's moves and next moves. And that's a key thing because, talent can only take you so far. And the teams that play together, plus talent, 9 times out of 10 will, over-exceed or go farther or beyond people's expectations, and we could be one of those teams that do better than people expect us to do.
Have you noticed the difference in the freshmen from their first year to where they are now? Have you seen a jump from those guys?
Maturity. It's the number one thing when you first come in. Your eyes are big. You normally do stuff that seems out of the question, but it's all a learning phase. Once you go through it, you start maturing and you recognize things and you learn from them as you grow. And that's the main thing, is that transition from a freshman to a sophomore, and even from a junior to a senior.
So that should make their talent stand out even more than it did last year, probably.
It should.
What have you been working on?
My conditioning, just...
Even during the summer? Not jump shot or anything like that? Okay.
Conditioning is the main thing for me because I'm one of those people where I have to do something all the time, and that's the main thing. That's pretty much the toughest aspect for me, is just staying in shape. If I'm in shape, then I'm keying on a lot of things. So that's my main goal, is trying to be and put myself in better condition than I have the past 3 years at this point, and trying to be more vocal those two things.
Is this the healthiest you've been going into a season?
Say that one more time.
Is this the healthiest you have been going into the season?
Well, I feel good. I mean, over the senior ways, you know, your body, the wear and tear, but overall, I'm pretty healthy. I can't complain.
How did finishing the year that you got the way that you guys did last year? How did that springboard into this season? Is there any carryover?
Well, I mean, last year was last year. How I look at it, it's different. You know, situations for everything. You know, last year we made it to the second round. Could we have done better? Possibility. But I mean, the good thing about from year to year is you get to start it all over. And like I said, from the freshmen, you know, it was pretty young with a lot of freshmen. They matured a lot, so they see things in a different perspective, and even us now, we see things in a different perspective. So hopefully that all combines and it carries over to where, you know, we make the right decisions that we made from last year, you know, the foolish mistakes we made and stuff like that. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you feel you have the depth to run up and down the court all night?
I do, because, you know, we got a lot of guards, and that's the beauty of it. And Coach Hewitt, he's one of those coaches who loves to sub. So I mean, with the way we're training now, you know, we can give it our all, and then he subs fresh guards, and they go out and give it their all, and then we come right back. So it's like we're not missing a beat. And I think that's one of the key reasons why we're pretty much keying on conditioning and stuff right now, because I think that's how he's going to, you know, focus on making the movements with the team this year.
So you go as hard as you can for as long as you can, and then you know somebody will be there to give you
right.
a ball.
You know, you're not going to miss a beat. You know that next person, whoever comes in for you, is going to come in with that same energy and intensity to where we can keep pressure on the opposing team at all times.
Which non-conference opponent are you most looking forward to playing this season?
I haven't even looked at the schedule.
We are going to the Bahamas, so I figured it might be whoever's there.
Only thing I know about the schedule is we're playing UTEP, and it was a lot of Memphis players on that team. You know, some of them transferred, but me and Randy Culpepper, we're good friends. We played on the same AAU team, so you know, we talk trash back and forth to each other. But other than that, I mean, just prepare. I mean, we haven't even started practice yet, so I don't get too far caught up in the schedule and who we playing, because at the end of the day, you got to take it one game at a time and build on from there.
Mo, you got four guys who didn't play last year. You got Hicks, Miller, Cam, and Jason. Can you talk a little bit about them and what you think they'll be able to contribute this year?
I think overall, starting with Cam, he's a very energetic, very explosive, I'd say. From what I've learned, just previously, you know, he's been through that injury, and I think once he plays some games, he'll slow down, because you know you got to get that pace. It got to go. You got to be through experience to understand it. So once he goes through a couple games and he gets the pace of the game, I think he'll do really well. And with Daniel, the same thing. He's more kind of got the pace already, but you know, just getting a little tougher, and he's real solid around the rim. And Hicks, the same as Daniel. I think, you know, and they all can run. What people don't realize, they can get up and down the floor, especially Cam. He's really quick. So it's very interesting. They can rebound and run, and like I said, explosive. Both of them can get to the rim. And with Jason, you know, 6'5", 6'6", he's more explosive than I thought too. I didn't think he can jump the way he can jump. The kid can jump out the gym. So I think, you know, with this pace we plan on playing at this year, they'll get a lot of easy buckets, and Jason will get a lot of transition buckets, and I think it'll be really fun.